Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a continuation of the previous video I did on how you can get opportunities in the UAE. So one of the platforms that I highly recommend for job seekers to use is LinkedIn. I'm sure many of us are already familiar with it. And good thing with LinkedIn is after you have updated your profile, you can be able to turn on notification at the top just above the jobs, so that any similar jobs are advertised, you will get a direct notification sent to your email. Another advantage with LinkedIn is that you can turn on this notification to as many different other jobs that you'd be interested in applying. The second place or website where you can be able to apply for and get opportunities is Indeed.com. So for Indeed, you can search Indeed Dubai, Indeed Abu Dhabi, Indeed, just Indeed.com, and then you, of course, specify the locations you're interested in. The advantage, just like for LinkedIn, you will need to create an account and then you update your profile, including your recent qualifications, and attach various documents. The only disclaimer that I have to make is that there are so many scammers who take advantage of Indeed, and I think maybe because it's free. So anytime you're invited for an interview for a job that you applied directly via Indeed, not that you got a link to go and apply through the company website, you will notice for the scammers, either the email that they will send you is not comprehensive enough, or you'll notice that there's a lot of typos, and even the information of the company is not really something that you can verify. So for instance, the recruiter information may not be part of the email, and that when you click to go and verify via the company website, you'll find that either it is a very recent company or the information on the website doesn't really seem legit. So please be on the lookout to avoid being scammed. Another way that could alert you if a job via Indeed is from a scammer is that the location that they will give you for the interview is always very close to a metro station, and they will mention like a particular exit for you to go. And most of the time they will even attach Google Maps link, and when you click on the link, you will notice that there is not like a proper building for that company. Good thing when you click the Google reviews, you'll find that there are other people who've been scammed before who will at least be updating you to keep you safe. Another place you can find a job obviously is via applying directly to the companies, to the specific companies. This at least you're sure that it's a legit opportunity. And you'd notice that like nowadays, I'm sure most of us, we know this, is that you will need to first create an account and then just keep updating your information as need be. And of course, when you're applying, you'll need to attach the required documents before you hit send. So maybe one pointer that I can give, like a precaution, is that, for example, if you're applying to a hotel and you know that this is an umbrella, like it's a group of hotels. So for example, something like Kesna, Kesna International has Atlantis, it has One and Only, it has Zabil. So for you to like increase your chances, or at least not hinder your chances of being invited, is that you use one CV. This is a tip that a friend of mine gave me who used to work there, that I don't know if it is true, that like the application on the website it's been made in such a way that it can detect one contact information using different multiple CVs. Of course, for the resume, you will need to update to suit that particular job. But for your CV, make sure that it's like one CV that you apply in that same company. And this is something that you maybe when you're making a CV, you can make it a bit open-ended. So for instance, if you want to be a hostess or, front of house in a restaurant, you can make sure that your CV is like customer service oriented, such that you can use it for different positions. Another place where you can be able to find jobs is via Facebook. So like when you come to Dubai, you can join as many UAE Facebook groups that you can find. Of course, some are free, others you need to wait for the admin to like admit you. But obviously, most of the time they will admit you into this group. So for instance, in Kenya, we have Kewa, we have Kenyans in Dubai, we have UAE jobs. There's so many Facebook groups that you can go and search and find. And from here, you will see there are very many posters for jobs. Either people are sending jobs from their own companies or even recruiters and agents use this platform to advertise for positions. The only thing that I can warn you, just like for Indeed, make sure that you verify the information given so that you are not scammed, because some people will ask you to pay for money. If anyone asks you to pay, even if it's just 50 dirhams, that should just alert you there's a possibility that this is a scam. Another website where you can apply for and find jobs is called Naukri Gulf, and it's just like Indeed, where you will have to create an account, update your profile information, and then from there you will see different adverts from different companies, and from there you will be able to apply either directly, or you will get a link that will redirect you to the different company websites. So another tip that I can give you to be able to find opportunities is like just communicating to as many people as possible. So for instance, in the previous video, I mentioned that when you come, you may be required to stay in a bed space or in a partition. So good thing in such accommodations is that you will be able to interact with people from different companies. And from there, at least when you interact with people, let them know that you're looking for a job or for an opportunity. And it really helps if at least you know what you want. So for instance, you can tell people that you have a background in education and you can teach either in a kindergarten or in a daycare. And if you're interested in, in working in a restaurant, you can tell people that you have customer service experience. If they hear of anything, they can let you know. This is very, very handy, because sometimes if there is someone in your social groups or in your community, in your church community, or even in your accommodation, who works in a place where someone quits without notice, or someone has an emergency and they have to leave their job. So most of the time the supervisors or the managers would ask them to recommend or refer someone that they know who can be able to be shortlisted and possibly be given these opportunities. So at least besides notifying people, it's very helpful for you to have like at least a few CVs ready so that you can give them to have it, and even of course a soft copy you can send it to them, so that if an opportunity meets you, you are ready. So in Dubai, sometimes we have what is called working opportunities. So in this, like the recruiters will invite as many people to come for an open interview. So maybe if they're advertising for different, even up to 10 for different positions, they would just post an ad to invite everyone who can come. There is a time that this was very common, but of late, you would sometimes be required to at least apply for the walk-in for you to even be invited, because sometimes like when you go for this walk-in, you will notice that there are so many people who show up. So I think recruiters devised a way of reducing the number by just requiring people to apply for the open interview. And when you go there, at least you will be questioned, you'll be interviewed, and many people get opportunities using this method. Maybe one tip I can give you, if you apply for working interviews, please show up very early in the morning, because when you go there, you'll find so many people. And sometimes that you'll be required to make a queue. So at least the earlier you come, the faster and the earlier you will be able to be interviewed and leave. So where can you find these walk-in interviews? You can find them on Facebook. Sometimes just when you search for jobs in Dubai, you'll find people who have posted for working opportunities. Anytime you're invited for an interview, just be cautious. Make sure that you don't end up getting scammed by people who are taking advantage of desperate job seekers. Another way, which I have not used it, and I know, and I don't really know someone directly who has used this method, is via agents. So I think of late it has not been very famous because so many agents have been taking advantage of very desperate job seekers, and they would expect you to pay money for processing of documents, or they'll ask you to provide money for them to process your work visa. So anytime someone asks you for money and you know for sure this agent has not been recommended, like you don't know their reviews or they have not been recommended by someone you trust, just be on the lookout and cautious. Other than that, I'm sure there are so many other websites and channels by which people can go to and search for jobs in Dubai. I think for me, I'm just welcoming people who get a chance to watch this video. You can go down to the comment section below and just give people other avenues or websites or tips on where they can be able to search for, apply, and get these opportunities. I can conclude by maybe giving you a few tips that would increase your chances. Is that make sure when you're applying for jobs, more so these big companies would always expect you to have referees. So make sure that wherever from the previous companies that you've worked, you have one or two referees of people who can vouch for you if contacted, because I think recruiters have noticed that there's a lot of misrepresentation in resumes. So for them, they would better go back and find out and verify if the information that you're giving in your CV is actually true. Make sure that you use an ATS CV. And here the CV is differently structured from what I was used to in Kenya. So you'd notice that a CV has just one page, and then it's colored, and it has a photo attached at the top as part of the CV. So anything that you need to say about yourself needs to fit in one page. Maybe this is something I can talk about in a different video at length, but just look at the different templates that available online that are free, that you can use to fill in your information, and it generates for you a one-page ATS CV. And of course, when you're applying for jobs, make sure that you also attach a cover letter, because you'd notice that in the companies where you're using only one CV, it's better for you to tailor make a cover letter to be able to increase your chances to be shortlisted for a particular ad or job opportunity. And another thing is that make sure you set yourself a target. So if you came here solely on visit visa to apply for opportunities, make sure you apply to as many opportunities as possible. So for me, my friend and I we used to set targets. So for her, I don't know how many she used to do, but you can say either you're applying to 70 jobs or 100 or even 150 jobs in a day. I understand that this process is extremely draining. It's so exhausting, and sometimes it can get very discouraging because one, after a couple of days, you will start to get regrets, and the regrets may be so many that if you easily get discouraged, it can kill your spirit. Another thing is that sometimes when you start going for interviews and nothing is really panning out, you'll begin to get a bit discouraged. But this should just be part of the process. Encourage yourself, hang in there, and continue to send many applications as you can. One thing I can encourage you is that God is very faithful. Make sure that you always pray and you trust in God. And sometimes, based on my experience, when you miss certain opportunities, it only means that it was not for you. And another thing is that maybe God is preparing you even better. The first job that you get may not be a dream job. There are people who are lucky, or that's their destiny. Like they will just apply for very good jobs on their first try, and they get them. Other people even get like great jobs from their home countries, and they come here with their own work visa and ready to start their jobs. But for some of us, the first jobs that we got were not like, they were just a stepping stone. And at least, like if you have a positive mindset, you'll use this opportunity to gain more confidence, to be able to learn the job market in Dubai, and sure, with God, everything is possible. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. I hope that I've been able to help some of you. And like I said, if there are people who have better tips and other ways in which we can help people to come here and thrive, please don't be shy to post them in the comment section below. Let us help each other. Until next time, goodbye.